Episode begins, and Gagamaru looks at Italy Ubers tearing through the field like a blazing lion homing in on its prey. He realizes that they are incredible at switching over to offense, and he wonders who will be the one to shoot. The ball bounces away from Nico, and another player intercepts it. Gagamaru looks at them in surprise, as they are passing over without stopping, as if they are all part of a well-oiled machinery. And he also realizes that King Barou will be the one who makes the shot. Yukimiya flies to the rescue, telling Gagamaru to have his back. Gagamaru nods his head in agreement. But before Yukimiya can wrestle the ball away, Barou dribbles it back to Nico, and Gagamaru wonders how he can do that, and how they managed to tame Barou when he is a wild card. The passes are so flawless that Gagamaru can't make out who has the ball, as they can make such tight passes in a tiny area. The ball blazes towards them, and he can't even see it coming back. At the headquarters, Barou had called out their philosophy for being spineless and disagreed with following their plan to play a boring version of soccer, but Snuffy just smiled in response. Later, when Barou is practicing all alone, Snuffy comes up behind him, complimenting his kick and his fitness. He is like a lean, mean killing machine, but if he looks at his data and his abilities, he is the one who is suited to be their strongest striker. So he pleads with him to go along with their philosophy, even if for this match he goes through the chase, wondering if he will do it. Barou tells him that soccer isn't work for him, it's a means to become a king, and he will conquer the field in his own way. If they want to use him, they must adapt to him. Snuffy laughs as he likes the answer and tells him that he really is the best, but he views himself too highly for being a prodigy. He dribbles like a phantom next to Barou, wrestling the ball away and telling him that he is only human, and it seems as if he is mistaken about being the best of the best. He even calls him an amateur to provoke him, and it works. Barou lashes out and tries to wrestle the ball away. Snuffy tells him not to look down on others without talent. His talent comes from his parents as a gift, but if he doesn't understand that, then he is not a pro. Barou wonders what the hell he is yapping about. Is he trying to say that he can't be the worst best if he doesn't thank his parents? And if that's the case, then he won't thank anyone? He promises to become the crummiest worst best striker in history. Snuffy looks at him in surprise. He remembers when everything was riding on his own talent back in the day, making his dreams come true along with his best friend. He remembers celebrating winning the trophy with his bestie, and later getting together with a couple of baddies. They had everything: women, fame, power, and fortune, and they never doubted that they would become the kings of soccer. Barou gets dressed up. He shoulder slams Barou and knocks him down, explaining that their performance dropped due to lack of practice. They pushed themselves too hard and got hurt, and after a few scandals, they were kicked off from the starting line. He tells Barou that humans are prone to failing. Barou wonders what all of this has to do with him. Snuffy explains that his best friend unalived himself after all of this. He then finally asks Barou if he would still be himself if he stopped being a prodigy. Barou has no answers as he explains that before he's a soccer player, he's only a human, and he shouldn't lose sight of his mortality. Whether he has talent or not, they should work together. Snuffy's aura bursts around him as he asks Barou what he thinks about becoming his successor as the king of Ubers. Barou is at a loss for words, and Snuffy tells him that his specs and mind space are all top class. He's a first-class striker not only in Blue Lock, but perhaps in the entire Negoist League, and if he works with him, he can become the new king of Ubers. Barou pauses for a moment and then tells him there's no way in hell. This shocks Snuffy, as he explains that he is him. He's nothing like his brother who died after being dealt a bad hand, and he doesn't even want to be handed a crown. He just doesn't want to end up as an adult who's scared of the future like he is. Later in the locker room, one of them wonders if he's a different beast and the same animal for passing up the throne like that. But Barou tells him not to believe in everything he hears. He'll use his talent to serve himself. Later in the relaxation theater room, Barou is stretching himself and looking at videos of gameplays. A voice asks him if they should have a movie together. It's Lorenzo, who has a bucket full of popcorn. He tells him to stop with all of these movies and should change it back to nature voices. But Lorenzo shoves the popcorn bucket in his mouth, pointing out that Snuffy has taken a liking to him. Barou tells him to stop making a mess and stop ruining nature, and he should also switch it back to nature voices. Lorenzo teases him by crunching louder, saying that Snuffy is the crowned king who can bring victory to whatever team he is on, and he wants to win a trophy in all 5 of the top European leagues. That's why he plays soccer, to fulfill the dream he had with his best friend. He unties the popcorn bucket and continues that once he wins the league with Ubers, he'll be done. He will retire from playing and live as a coach. That is what he has announced. So he's looking for a striker to succeed him, but Barou is not interested in his yapping. He tells him to clean up his mess and leave, but Lorenzo only smiles, revealing his gold-plated smile. He tells Barou to check out his solid gold teeth, but Barou only wants to get away from this creep. Lorenzo explains that he had been living in the slums with no parents and a neighborhood full of bad stuff. He was living like a garbage bag, and at the brink of death, Snuffy arrived asking him if he would like to play soccer. The drugged-out Lorenzo only wanted money, and Snuffy had offered him as much as he wanted if they worked together. He laughs, saying that he challenged him with a crazy request, to give him money now and to turn all of his messed-up teeth into gold. So what does he think about it? Surprisingly, Snuffy dragged him to a dentist and bought him all of these gold teeth. He made his dream come true in an instant, and all for him, a man living in trash. Barou wonders what's the purpose of this sob story. Lorenzo tells him that Snuffy never abandons anyone, even if they stop being a prodigy. He's a crazy man who can give him a future. Speaking of the devil, Snuffy arrives and tells them to head back in for training, and they should come if they feel like it. Lorenzo acts like a little puppy, but Barou is not too thrilled. He finally caves in and tells Snuffy he will give his philosophy a try, but not as a successor, but as a striker who will surpass him one day. He asks Snuffy to try to turn him into the king of the world, and that's what Snuffy had been wanting to hear. He tells Barou that he's got a deal. Later, they work on their stamina as a team, running on treadmills from time to time. The other team members are supposed to be the striker's limbs, and he will pound tactics into their brains. They will learn what it means to be auxiliaries to the greatest goalkeeper. To negotiate with the goalkeeper, Barou is put into practice, and with constant feedback and praise, he starts to better himself. Snuffy tells him to listen up and not shoot when he wants to shoot, but to aim for a break in the enemy's awareness and then shoot. He's supposed to be a predator, always watching and waiting. When his praise mind starts to waver, that's when he's supposed to home in for the kill. And presently, that's exactly what's happening. Gagamaru has no idea who has the ball. Isagi realizes that they're hiding the ball from his goalie to create a little opening, and by the time he realizes it, he will already be dead, and all of their team's hard work will be put to waste. Barou finally arcs the ball away from the players with a stealth kill sniper shot, and he scores the goal, bringing Uber up to match with Bastard Mansion. He tells his teammates that they've done a good job. Chapter 217. The crowd goes wild, celebrating his goal. The goalie couldn't even move a muscle. That explosive stealth middle shot was out of this world, and Ubers is now tied up with Munchin. Everyone starts celebrating, and Barou asks Isagi what's wrong. Is that all he can accomplish as the new loser of their team? Isagi can't believe what he's going through. He can't stop something like that. After all, he's only one man against a coordinated team. They must have been running simulations to crush him. After stealing the ball from him and switching to rapid attack mode, they've pulled off a play that's too fast for even him to keep up. Isagi looks away in nervousness. This team play, with absolute coordination, is not something they can come up with on the fly. Such precise timing is impossible to achieve without training. Be it offense or defense, the whole team shares a coordinated pattern, and that is what makes Italy Ubers a strong team. He imagines everyone as a piece of a puzzle, and he tries to explain Barou's shot just now. Gagamaru couldn't keep up or take a step toward it, so maybe he staggered his timing with his shot. But he also reasons that Barou didn't shoot when he felt like it. He was patiently waiting for when Gagamaru couldn't react. Isagi realizes that he's always watching. He has found a new way to use his eyes. If he considers his shooting style and abilities, he doesn't let the goalkeeper respond and has a high chance of scoring a goal in this way. Isagi feels himself unraveling as he realizes that's why he always plays with the goalkeeper in his field of vision. He's waiting for his prey to show weakness. That is his new piece. He puts everything into negotiating with the goalkeeper like a lion prowling an injured gazelle. He's waiting for the perfect moment to strike with his predator's eyes, and his own eyes and brain have evolved in a different direction. Ness is visibly shaken, powerless to do anything for his king. But Kaiser tells him to take a chill pill. You're being pathetic. If we can deal with Lorenzo, we can win. Ness agrees, telling Kaiser that they will put an end to Lorenzo. Isagi also asks his own knight what he thinks. Corona wonders how many tactical patterns he thinks Lorenzo has. Isagi doesn't know. If we do anything they expect, we'll be swallowed up. Corona and Yukimiya wonder what they should do. Does Isagi have a plan or anything? Isagi smiles because he realizes that if the plan is out, they'll adapt like Mahoraga. All they have to do is follow Noah's instruction that the key to victory lies in duels. The match restarts, and Ness has the ball in his court. He's trying to build a formation in the midfield so that they can slice apart from the middle of the field. Imagine the field divided into 3 parts. The main problem is that after we attack, the formation from the front will be split into 3. For Kaiser to goal, he needs to become a jack of all trades. But Lorenzo arrives, ready to put an end to Kaiser's career as a striker. He wonders if it's a one-on-one, but Kaiser tells him it will be a true one-on-one. Ness arrives just behind him and tackles and blocks Lorenzo, giving Kaiser ample space to run away. Ness also uses a backhand pass to accelerate the ball in front of Kaiser. Lorenzo compliments him, saying that he has gotten better. Ness says that he is Kaiser's shield. Lorenzo smiles, telling them that they have a way to deal with that pattern too. Sure enough, a spiky-haired player leaps into the air, ready to confront Kaiser. The players on the bench can't believe what they're seeing. It seems as if Italy Ubers have a plan for that plan as well. Jayubi is ready to tackle the ball away from Kaiser. He's been trained to predict it, and his main job is to get rid of allowing flies. The ball bounces away, right back to Lorenzo. Ness looks at him helplessly. Lorenzo is about to be served the ball on a plate. Everyone holds their breath, but Isagi arrives in the nick of time. Everyone looks at him in surprise as he has made it. He can see it. This is his duel. From the moment Ness made that block to Jayubi's head block, he had predicted that the ball would be free over here. If he stops and lets them think, the Ubers, with their techniques and patterns, would come in hot on his trail, trying to find the flow of his movements. But his Metavision is superior. Just then, Nico aggressively tackles him and wrestles the ball away. They wonder if it's a foul. As the ball drops out of bounds, Isagi wonders, "What is this? How can he stop me? There should be something they can't predict." Nico slowly gets up and tells Isagi that he has the same eyes and brain as him. It turns out he too is a user of Metavision, and this puts Isagi in a tough spot. Both of the Metavision users stare each other down. Isagi can't believe that there's a third user of this divine technique who can read and stop his play before he can react to it. He wonders what all of this talk about Metavision means. Isagi explains it's a way of using their eyes. If they take everything into their peripheral vision while processing it with their brain, they can look at the entire field from a third-person view. Nico tells him that he was not trying to do that. He just kept his movements and the ball in his field and followed him with his eyes, then found a spot that looked dangerous and charged in, ignoring any rules. Isagi can't believe that he can use Metavision unconsciously. This is the first time he has felt this way, and he is using his movements to awaken his eyes and brain. Oliver tells Nico that he has done great. Though he is not thrilled that Nico ignored their defense pattern, that was an awesome block and now he should get back to his position. Nico daps him up and tells him that he thinks he can become a rare specimen. During this time, Yoichi grabs Isagi like a startled kitten and yells at him not to let them steal the ball. They could have a big chance. Isagi, still shaken, apologizes and asks Yoichi how he could tell from his movements where he would land. Yoichi tells him that all he did was swipe the ball and be at the right spot at the right moment. Isagi looks around and wonders if that's how it appeared to everyone. Corona says that it was as if it was one of Isagi's usual amazing interceptions. Yukimiya agrees that he couldn't pull off a positioning like that. Isagi realizes that Metavision is not something anyone can just use. Maybe the only ones on the field who can use it are Kaiser and Nico, and perhaps Lorenzo as well, but he's not too sure. It is still a rare ability. It turns out that Barou uses a different set of eyes that evolved along a different path. If Isagi uses his Metavision, it is a predictive ability that gathers all information and catches glimpses of the future. Barou, on the other hand, uses his eyes as a shooting-type ability that links him to the goalkeeper. He focuses only on the goal box. To make things simple, Barou uses his eyes to narrow down on the prey, and Isagi uses his eyes to see everything happening around them. The way they work is absolutely mind-blowing. Yoichi tells Isagi to stop acting like a lunatic. The next play is starting. Isagi gets his head in the game and wonders about the philosophies of the two sets of eyes. Ubers move in a coordinated pattern like a single organism, but their team is an unpredictable tornado with two attackers, Kaiser and him. He is sure everyone on the field understands the situation. They realize what the threats are and what they should do. This truly is a world-class battle of philosophies. Everyone is giving their best. The next play will determine the turning point. Whoever can outread the other team will destroy their plans and be crowned the victor who controls the match. Kaiser is annoyed that Lorenzo keeps getting in his way, and Lorenzo enjoys being a pain in the bottom. It's because of him that Kaiser can't move freely like he usually does, and Isagi is having a better time in this field to steal the goal. Ness runs up to his daddy, asking what they should do. Lorenzo is being a pain and Ness can't take it anymore. At this rate, Isagi will steal the spotlight. Kaiser tells him to shut his yapping. Ness is the novice. He is letting his brain control his emotions. They just need to do as they practice. They don't need to be creative. They just need to have faith that nothing is impossible for them. Grim throws in the ball and Ness intercepts it. The gameplay starts. Now begins the battle of wits. The way Ness and Kaiser enter this play will decide the fate of the next goal. All of a sudden, Kunigami slams into Ness, stealing the ball and telling them not to forget about the dark horse. They can't believe what is happening. The play is off to a rocky start. Kunigami rushes through the field, and Ness complains about him being a copycat. Italy Ubers can't predict what is going to happen, so they try to take advantage of his middle shot. Kunigami zips through the defenses, and Isagi stays close by. He wonders if Kunigami plans to splice through and shoot all on his own, but that's impossible. Even with his own abilities, there are 3 defenders in front of him. They might have a chance if he helps out, but he will never pass to Isagi. It looks like he is at the end of his road, and he might end up in the penalty area where they will steal the ball. Isagi can use his Metavision to see it, and he also realizes that Nico is using Metavision as well. Nico can't believe how amazing this ability is. He gives his vision to the entire field. He can see who has the ball and identify all sources of incoming danger, and he can also aim for the same spot as Isagi. Kunigami unexpectedly slices through the defenders once again. Nico realizes the only reason he can do that is because he can shoot with either leg, but he needs to reposition himself to shoot, and this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. Both Isagi and Nico pounce on the ball trying to get it. It turns out they are evenly matched, but the wild card appears. He arrives and blocks Nico, telling him that the King of Duels is here. They wonder where he came from and how he can read where the ball will land. Isagi tells Nico that he is too drunk on his own eyesight. His Metavision is still on the first level. He is focused on predicting what comes next, concentrating on the ball. He has left parameters out of his field of vision, giving Yoichi a chance to sneak behind and position himself. If he had checked behind him, he would have seen Yoichi. He is drowning in his own awakening, missing important info. The way he uses his eyes and reads the field is still stuck. Yoichi, on the other hand, is not happy that Isagi stole his spotlight and used him as a stepping stone. With only 2 defenders left, Isagi tells Corona to get in position. He finds Corona ready and passes the ball back and forth. Oliver arrives, saying that this Metavision thing is like superhuman perception. Isagi looks at him in horror. There is a force user of this incredible ability. This is out of his calculations. Oliver wants to join in this battle of wits, but Isagi has none of it. After all, he has his left leg as a side weapon. Oliver realizes that his left leg is not as strong as his right. It was a bluff, and he won't let Isagi fool his eyes. Isagi is caught in a tight position. Oliver and Nico are both evolving unexpectedly. He is in trouble because Oliver can predict his movements like a demon, and Nico is there too. Finally, Yukimiya calls out to Isagi, asking him to pass to the sinking ship. Isagi can't believe what he is seeing. If he passes now, he won't get the shot. It's too risky to let Oliver steal the ball. It will make for a crazy counterattack. He has to do the most rational thing, and that is to pass the ball to Yukimiya. But things don't go as he expected. Lorenzo arrives right in front of Yukimiya, vowing to devour them all. They can't believe what is happening. Another unexpected situation evolves. Kaiser blocks Lorenzo. He has finally gotten rid of the rotten-toothed bastard. He has been waiting for this moment. Isagi can't believe that Kaiser got ahead of him. He is now the peak of Metavision users, and he calmly goes to the goal box. Everyone tries to stop him, but it's of no use. Kaiser uses his shot to tear through the goal and bring Bastard Mansion into the lead. The crowd goes wild for Kaiser to pull off such an impossible shot. The players are at a loss for words. This is a game changer, and even Isagi must accept that Kaiser is a true prodigy.